Yeah, kid. Welcome back to another episode of the Handsome Homebuyer Podcast. My name is Charles, aka the Handsome Homebuyer. Obviously, you know why we're here. If you have a house you want to sell, land, commercial property, we're quick, we're easy, we're a good time. We want to buy it. 516-777 sold. And we're talking right now to the offspring of high protein. Jesus Christ, did I screw this up? I'm going to bring it on. High protein, high energy. God damn it. All right, hold on. I got to bring him on here. Yo, how did I just have a moment and forget it? So it's high protein. What is it? Run it through.
High octane.
High octane, high protein,
Yeah,
super aggressive. There you go. Anybody who's on Long Island knows that is the greatest real estate agent to grace our generation, Brian Karp. And I'm speaking to my man Hassan here, who's essentially the offspring of Brian Karp. And true to nature, the next generation is always better than the previous generation, right? And that's what we're trying to do. So Hassan is taking both real estate sales and now getting into investments on the flip side to a whole nother level. So you've been flipping recently. Last year you did 32 deals, you and your partners. You also sold 106 just straight up like retail deals. Like people are saying, hey, Hassan, you're the man, sell my house. You did 106 of those last year.
Correct.
God damn. Right? So, I mean, good for you, man. You're a super young guy. I've been following you for a while, really impressed at what you're doing. Love the fact that you are just hungry for it. Like you are a hungry dude. And that's pretty much what it takes. And I think 99.9% of the people don't have the hunger, which is really 99% of the reason why they're not doing the business that they want to do and definitely not doing the business that you're doing. So, let's dive into it. Couple things I'm really curious about. So, Brian Karp is amazing. He's a great man. He's a great friend. He's an amazing businessman. I've known him for quite a number of years. And recently he put out an educational product that I preach to every realtor out there that you should all purchase Brian Karp's educational product because this dude's doing 200 houses a year, selling 200 houses a year in your backyard, and he's going to tell you how to do it. And for $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever the hell it is, I mean, some realtors will blow more than that in a weekend to triple play on bottle service. So... But you joined his team and you have a one-on-one relationship with him. You still work with him to this day. So I am really curious to know how important he was in your development as a real estate agent, what he taught you, and kind of the process of what you guys went through.
I mean, Brian, literally, I say this all the time. This is the guy that changed my life, right? This is the guy that took me. When I went to him initially, I was basically running off of a small office in Valley Stream, and just going from that to Brian and seeing what he does and how he prospects, and he's honest. Like there's a lot of realtors out there that will teach you stuff, but they're not honest with their teachings. He literally dissected and broke everything in pieces and told me what to do to get it. And I was always hungry, and I was very persistent, and I still am. So I literally just took everything like it's my religion, and I incorporated every single techniques from the small things to the big things into every area of my real estate career. Like from the way he talks, from the way he prospects, from the way that he has his schedule set, everything. I just took everything like my religion, and I went with it. Huge part.
So break it down for me, right? Like what were the teachings? How did he start? How long before it took you to get traction? Kind of take us through basically everything you learned from him and the process and how long that took.
Okay, so 2022 is when I started doing my prospecting. And I remember I took his course, but the course wasn't it's amazing. It's an amazing course. It gives you a lot of exposure, but there were so many questions that I had. You know what I mean? I had so many questions, and that's when I went to him in person, and then he was able to really break those, those questions down. And just following what he told me, I started prospecting. I got 2 years worth of expireds withdrawn and canceled in my neighborhood, which was Valley Stream. And by January to February, almost a month, and I didn't have a single listing. But March, April, May, June, July was just every month was like 9, 10 listings. Like everything that I was prospecting a month before, next month will mature up. You know what I mean? And they would come into like, hey, let's meet by. They're like, Hassan, we can't meet tomorrow, but we could definitely do, Thursday. But I would still go tomorrow regardless. Like I was so aggressive to a point where people are call the cops on me. Like, yo, this kid is nuts. You know, like this kid is nuts.
So basically, people are calling the cops on you because you are torturing them, like literally torturing them and saying, "Listen, I'm basically I'm not going to stop. Like you're here because you want to sell the house. I'm here because I want to sell it for you. It's just a matter of you coming to the realization that I'm the best person to do it, and you were relentless, which is what it takes."
Right.
Did anybody actually ever call the cops?
Yeah, like 6 to 7 times. Like in Valley Stream, Elmont, like all the cops know me. Like the moment they see me, they're like, like we know you. We know
so,
this is.
so how does that happen? Like you go to the door, you're knocking on the door, and they're like, "Stop coming here! I'm calling the cops," and then they call the cops.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like that, or sometimes just like I went to a house, I left a flyer, and then I got a no caller ID call, and I pick it up, and it's sergeant on the line, like, don't come to this house again. Which of course I don't fucking pay no mind to, and I go back again the next day. Like, why'd you call the cops? Like, I'm relentless. I sold your neighbor's house. You see my signs everywhere. Like, I'm not here to scam you. You know, I'm trying to give them the confidence. And then it just gets to a point where they're just like my broker was sick and tired of me, like the one I was in before. He's like, every day the cops is just calling us, like, Hassan, stop. People are calling us, stop coming to our house. But I was relentless and aggressive, and I still am. But now I've shifted more towards the flip side, which is starting to become more my passion. Yeah.
Nice. So talk to me about, well, a couple things first. How old are you?
25.
Yeah, so like you're really young. You're a young guy. Like at 25, I had no idea what flipping a house was. Like I didn't know anything about it. I knew nothing about real estate. So, where does the hunger come from? I'm curious to know that. And B, in order for you to, people hate rejection.
Right.
I think it's pretty much hardwired into us. Like people hate rejection. So the fact that you could literally sit there in that space of people just slamming doors and calling the cops on you, like, where does that come from?
Like the idea to take rejection in and be okay with it.
Yeah. Like you're like, all right, cool. Cops were called on me today. I'm going back tomorrow.
I think because I guess, to get to the 1%, I believe, like, to get to the top, you have to like go through a lot of shit that a lot of normal people are not able to take. So I go with that idea, like, okay, this is okay. I got cursed out, but it's okay. It's just me, it's another stepping stone on the way. So, and I feel like anytime some bad happens to me or somebody says anything bad, it's like something good is about to happen. So I take it in like spiritual context, and I take it in like, I just keep going, Charles. Like it's like a territorial thing. Like I don't want to see anybody dominate my neighborhood. It's just, I'm relentless. I can't help it.
So you essentially planted a flag. What is it? Is it Elmont and Valley Stream? What are the areas that you're working in?
Valley Stream, Elmont mainly, but in 2023, around June, there were 46 listings in Valley Stream, and 38 of them were mine. Like I literally everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that the area that you're doing the flips in also?
Yeah, though Valley Stream, Elmont, Franklin Square. Now I'm starting to grow. I've done a couple flips in Brooklyn. I've done the Bronx. I've done Staten Island. I've done it all, like everywhere. Westchester. I'm growing in Westchester now. Got 5 projects going on there.
Nice, good for you. So basically, you partner up with people that are in those areas, because I mean, obviously, for you to go to Westchester, you're not going to watch a rehab in Westchester.
No. I have very trustworthy contractors.
So how do you, because partners are pretty much like, I've never partnered with anybody on a deal before. Some people love partners, some people hate partners. How do you go about, picking your partners? How do you put the arrangement together? Do you see a benefit in doing that? Do you not see a benefit in doing that? What is your take on the whole partnership thing?
I think for anybody to boost, because I don't want to let a good deal slip my hand. I don't want to, and there's deals where sometimes come to me in the Bronx and Brooklyn, and then I have an amazing relationship with, let's say, somebody like you who's constantly wholesaling a lot of deals, and I want to build a relationship, and I want to give you the confidence, like, yo, I got this. I'm going to buy all your deals. So in that aspect, like, even if it makes me 40, 50K per deal, I'll take it, just so, we maintain the relationship.
Yeah, no, money is money. But how have you been so successful in managing those relationships? Because partnerships are very difficult, or can be very difficult.
So I like to keep the ball in my court. like I'll most of my investors, I pitch them, I tell them, listen, you're going to split the down payment and you do the closing cost. We'll either get a hard money, or if we close cash, it's 50-50. I don't want you at the site. I don't want you to take care of any of the like you're giving me the money and I'm promising you whatever we're gonna make, we're gonna share the pot.
Got it.
And then I only pick deals. My criteria is which makes me a minimum 100,000 per deal. So if they get 50,000, I get 50,000 at the end. They're happy, I'm happy. And
Yeah.
of course, sometimes you'll get 45 and 48, and things are not planned the way that you plan them. But it is what it is. At least they're happy. I keep them happy.
No, it makes sense. So in a market where deals aren't really plentiful, right? Like most people, this will be 2024 will be the slowest year in the last 30 years as far as transactions go nationwide. And you're listing 106 houses and you're flipping 32 houses. So, what do you equate that to?
I think the more you put out there, the more you'll get, because I'm a huge believer in like just going out there and being in people's faces and trying to get as much as possible, because yeah, there's gonna be a market that's going up, there's a market that's coming down, but I guess you just have to give it your all. If you give it your all to 100% to the T, there's no way you're not gonna get to where you want to get to. There's no way. Like the universe just won't allow that. It's just not how it's made. Like you have to. People like to make shortcuts. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm more of a believer. Like in a market where things are tough, like yeah, I might not be able to get good shortcuts, but like my hard work will pay off regardless. Up market, down market.
So most people at 25 years old are trying to figure out, where to go to on a Friday night and going to the mall to pick out a freaking fresh shirt to do it. You're getting chased by the cops, banging on people's doors and buying flips in the South Bronx. Where does your drive and motivation come? Because it's very obvious that like you got the battery in your back, man. Like you want to do big stuff. You're looking to make a lot of money. You're looking to, achieve a certain level of success. But most people don't have that ever, especially
Right.
at 25 years old. So, where does that really come from?
Uh, I would say I have, I've always had this in my mind. Like whatever I want to do, I want to become the absolute best in what I do. Like I just can't live an average life, to be honest with you. I tried to make my peace with it, but I can't go by my day thinking that I'm an average guy. It's something that's been in me since I was a kid. That's why I went to acting school. I took acting courses. I was in Lee Strasberg. I was in Stella Adler. I'm in all these major acting academies, just because I want to be prominent and I want to take things to the next level and build a legacy, which is super important for me.
So where did the acting fit in the, did you want to be in movies? Were you just like, was it a hobby? What was that?
Yeah, now movies for sure.
Is that something that you still want to do?
1,000%, and I will. Like when I get to a certain point in my career where everything is just automated, that's where I'm headed. That's my main goal. I want to produce movies, make movies, get into movies, act movies. I love movies. You name me any black and white movie, I've watched it all, head to toe. Like I'm obsessed with movies. Huge movie guy.
So let's talking about you scaling your operation. How
Yes.
has that been going? What systems are you putting into place? What issues are you having? Right? Like every business person has issues. There's days where you're just like, I can't do this anymore. My head is freaking killing. It's sometimes it's weeks of just you getting the absolute shit beat out of you. So, what are you doing to scale? What issues have you been coming in contact with? What things have worked for you? And where do you see it going in the near future?
In the beginning, I was over leveraging myself a little too much. Like the goal was to get a deal with minimum money as possible and just use, your lender's money. But that didn't play out pretty good. So I had to change that dynamic. I think that was a big problem, was to over leverage myself. Over leveraging will literally destroy you, because you're doing, let's say, 10 flips, and out of 9 you're not really going to get paid, even if they sell. You'll get paid at the last flip, because you'll put this money into the previous project and that money into the previous project. You know what I mean? You know how it goes. So I had to stop that. I was like, I had to be religious about it. I wanted to have one property, one bank account, one loan, partner's money or my money, and just keep it at that. And if for the next flip I'm having issues with financing, I'm just gonna hold it off.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much that's how I was able to overcome that. The other issue is I have a lot of people who want to invest with me. I'm talking like 30, 40 people just ready to go. They want to invest, but I can't keep track. Like I have so much on my plate, like the listings, the the flips, the new deals coming in. I'm reviewing commercial deals also, trying to see what we could do to add value. I'm getting mentorship in commercial. Richie Zoff is my commercial mentor. Peter Castellana, you probably know him, the Western Beef owner.
Yeah, I know Western Beef, but yeah, I don't know him. Yeah, I know the
Yes,
family. Yes.
right. So I go to him every now and then sometimes, and he tells me about how to get deals and how to play the long run game and be safe in it. You know, so I'm trying to like slowly get into like that sector. Yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Listen, at the beginning, you don't have a lot of money. You're trying to buy these houses. You see a decent deal. You don't want to pass on it, but you don't really have the money. So you're like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And, these things don't move that quickly a
Yeah.
lot of times. You're in these things for 4, 6, 8, 9 months, sometimes more, depending on the level of construction or, if it sells right away or, do you get busted, have to get permits and all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, what have been the hardest lessons that you've learned while doing this?
Uh, my some of the hardest lessons have that I have to study the town, and I have to see which town am I doing business in. Like Oyster Bay, Oyster Bay is just, you know what I'm saying. So a town of Hempstead, you could get away with things. So yeah, getting permits definitely, but I think um, I'll be honest with you, Charles. Like my guys, I've trained them. Like I've told them how to get things done, so they'll work at night too. We'll work along the lines. But if it's like extension, dormers, stuff like that, of course, no question, you have to get a good architect that will get you permits. So it is what it is. I'll pay the extra 10, 15,000. I have no problem.
How have you been doing finding good contractors? Because that's really the biggest problem for most fix and flip investors.
So most of the people that I've partnered up with are contractors. So they have a track record of doing flips, and I've been with them to their flips to see how they're running their, where do they get their material from, how much do they pay, yada yada yada. And if I feel like the guy's trustworthy, the guy and I could work in the long run, then we partner up. So far I haven't had a bad partner. Like, yeah, I've had partners that are annoying that keep calling you, and then what happened with this, what happened with that. But then like so far I've been very, very blessed. And then the other contractors, my own contractors, I pay them by the day. And there's a head contractor for them. If we need a licensed plumber, we need a licensed electrician, I'll just pay it out, depending on the town. Sometimes I don't even worry about that stuff, that aspect.
So what is typically the scope of work on the house that you're doing? You're doing full gut renovations? Are you doing dormers? Are you doing new constructions now? What is it, the type of stuff? Are you wholesaling stuff? What do you like to do?
Yeah, like wholesaling. I wholesale last year. Like I sold wholesale about 15 to 20 houses. If I get a deal right now and it's good, it leaves me enough margin, enough meat on the bone, I'll wholesale it. But if I think I can make 100,000 by just renovating the property, and my guys, I gotta keep my guys busy too, so I'll just renovate the property and just slap it on the market. I'll do that. And in terms of, yeah, like dormer, I'm doing dormers, new construction. I have a guy. He builds a lot of houses in Valley Stream, Elmont. He does ground ups. So I'll get the deal. Somebody will get me the deal. We'll partner up with that, and he just does the construction and he builds it. Like I try to fire myself as much as I can from the jobs. Like I don't want to talk to the architect. I don't want to. I don't. Even if it's saving me 20,000, 30,000, I'll let it go. I'll rather let you keep the money, but I don't want the headache. I rather want to just prospect and find more and more and more deals. I don't want to stop the flow of deals coming in.
So yeah, so that's a good point. So what is it that you are primarily doing at this point? Like, what is your main role in the operation at this point?
Right. So a couple of REO brokers, good relationships with. I get a couple deals from them, and I incentivize them just the right amount where they don't feel like, I'm trying to, snatch the deal from the market, and at the same time take care of them sometimes on the side, or give them back the listing. So many things. And plus, these people, I built such an amazing trustworthy relationship with, and wholesalers. Like, I provide genuine value. Like, there's times where a wholesaler comes to me, gives me the deal, and I'm like, I'm gonna give you 10% of the profit. I want you to become a 10% partner. Like, I'm very hungry in that aspect. I just want more and more, and whatever it takes. Like, yeah, I'll sometimes make, maybe 10,000, 20,000 less, but I let it go, because for me, it's about the long run. He could give me 100 deals next year. He could give me 50 deals next year. That's what I look at.
Yeah, no, listen, it's smart. It's very simple, man. Like, people like to operate with people that they like, that they have a good time with, and that they can ultimately make money with.
Correct.
And if you're one of those people that's basically trying to keep everything for yourself and maximize the dollar, it's just not going to work. Like, you're not going to get business, you're not going to build relationships. And these agents don't get enough deals where, they'll get, maybe a good agent will get maybe one or two shitty houses a year, if that. And you want them to basically think of you when that happens. And one of the ways to do that is to make sure that obviously these guys are making money.
Right. 1,000%.
So what does the future look like, right? In the next couple of minutes, kind of take me through. Again, you're 25, so you got nothing but time. Like, you have nothing but time, man. You are really, really young. What do the next 3 to 5 years look like?
Slowly make my transition from residential to commercial. But buy good deals. I wanna hotels, retail, apartment buildings, get into that stuff on a bigger level. Like, just pretty much become like a domestic and an international player. Like, I have a friend right now. We're gonna go to the Dominican Republic. He's building a hotel. He's having a hard time with getting financing. So I'm already working right now with a couple of lenders to see, who can obtain international financing, and what are some of the securities that they can put in place that could, protect them if in case anything goes wrong, because Dominican Republic is not in America, it's outside
Yeah,
of the region,
it's a whole
what I
nother
mean?
world, man.
So that's something I really want to do. And the deal we have is, if I'm able to help you get financing, which I will, he's going to give me 20% off, the project. So stuff like that, like, I really want to, like, widen my horizon. I don't want to just be a frog in a well. I don't want to stay in a well and just think this is my world. I want to go out there. Like, I want to buy big shit. I want to buy industrial buildings. I want to, and I'm going to, and buy skyscrapers. Take it to that level.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, the biggest thing that people that listen to this can learn from you is that taking action is pretty much 95% of it. So if you take action, if you go out there and you do it, things are going to happen to you. Something's going to be bad, most of them are going to be good, but you're always going to learn,
Right.
and you're always going to evolve, and opportunity will present itself. If you don't take action and you're overanalyzing, or you're afraid for whatever reason, nothing bad will happen to you, but nothing good will happen to you. So, I can't think of anything worse than that. So listen, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. I've been watching what you do, and you're a young hustler. I wish you the best of luck. I hope it all continues. I'm obviously here for you as a resource, anything I can help you with. And if there's anybody out there that is looking to buy or sell, whether it be an investment deal or whether it be a retail deal, obviously, especially in your areas, you are Mr. Elmont and you are Mr. Valley Stream. How do they get a hold of you?
929-261-6754. And my Instagram, Azeemi Real Estate. Anytime. I'm active, super active on.
Love it. Obviously, I'm the handsome home buyer. You have a house you want to sell. I'm quick. I'm easy. I'm a good time. I want to buy it. 516-777 sold. That's a wrap.